What's poppin', yo? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at yet another film review of a movie that I missed out on in 2023. My girlfriend didn't want to go see this movie with me when it first came out, so I never went to go see it, and the reason is because I've only ever gone to see one movie on my own, and that was the Mario movie, and I didn't really enjoy going to see a movie on my own, so I ended up skipping out on this one, but it is Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves? Yes, there we go. And I watched this on my own. I watched it while chilling in bed. I just don't like going to the cinemas on my own. It's too much money for a solo activity. So I waited till it came out on a streaming service, and then I watched it. And yeah, I'm going to be honest. It was pretty decent. I quite enjoyed it, and I'm very excited to talk about it. And I'm very upset that I didn't go and watch it sooner. So let's see what Google has to say about this film, and then we'll go on to what I have to say. So, Google says a charming thief and his band of unlikely adventurers embark on an epic quest to retrieve a long-lost relic, but their charming adventure goes dangerously aware when they run afoul of the wrong people. Goddamn, I cannot read. I genuinely struggle with reading, and that was a mouthful. They were words I didn't know and I don't understand. So, let's put it in Tyler's words. Let's go through the whole story of the movie, and then we'll take it apart bit by bit. So, this movie starts out with our bard, our musical man, who is part of a group who basically bring people to justice for no reward. He decides he wants rewards and steals something from a red magician. The red magicians then seek out revenge and come and kill his wife. Her wife protected the child, and he became sad, miserable, lonely, alcoholic, and a barbarian showed up and, took pity on the baby, and they grew up together like brother and sister, helping raise this child, and they got some more friends, like a wizard and a con man, and that was pretty much their whole squad. They then met up with a wizard or a witch who wanted to steal something from a very dangerous place, and the bard didn't agree with it until he found out there was a relic of rebirth where he could bring his wife back. So they went on to the quest, went on to go find it, and unfortunately, the barbarian and the bard got captured. So now they are spending the next 2 years of their life in prison. When they go ask for a pardon, they break out on a flying eagle and make their way through the snow back to their home village, where they find out their conman friend is now the king of this new palace land. So they go there and see that he's been conning one. How fucking predictable. He's been conning the daughter into lying to her, tricking her, telling her that they're not actually stealing a relic of rebirth, they're just stealing it for gold and money, and they abandoned their daughter for money. He then lies to them again, saying that they left willingly and they are not staying to, take her away and taking them with them. They are leaving because he sentenced them to be executed. They break free and go find Simon the magician, who then tells them about this massive plan, this girl that he knows, this girlfriend that he has, which is a shapeshifter, which is honestly the coolest character in the entire movie. So they go and meet up with this girl, see her saving this forest land, they manage to get her on board, and then they go see the barbarian's graveyard to get some information, because they're trying to break into this vault, and to get into this vault they need a helmet. So they go ask all these dead people 5 questions each and find out who has this helmet. They find out that it was a knight who has this helmet. So they go and find this knight who takes them to the underworld, and they fight a dragon, undead assassins. They get the helmet and they end up on a beach. Simon fails to use the helmet. They all get angry at each other. The bard does a motivational speech, and they all come back together to make a new plan. They get a magic wand which can create teleporters, basically portal, and break into one of the carriages carrying gold going to the city, taking it to the vault. So they break into the vault with the girl turning into a worm. Then they all get captured, and they all end up in the big grand winter games, the summer festival games, and they almost die. They fight a panther, a gelatinous cube, and they end up surviving. They get out, they betray the con man, get away, save the daughter, and then they go back to the village, go back to the city because they see the red wizard or the wizard is trying to kill everyone. So they have a big battle, the bard dies, and they use the totem of rebirth to bring back the bard instead of his wife. And that's where the movie ends, with everyone living happily ever after. And I'm going to be honest, I was very much expecting them to waste it and not get the wife back as soon as I noticed the bard was dead. No, the barbarian was dead. It was very, very straightforward. Wasn't a very good plot twist. I was shocked that it was the bard that was injured. However, yeah, I did understand that had to be like the bard or the barbarian if they were going to use the totem of undying, and they brought her back. So yeah, that was to be expected. I'm going to be honest. I didn't expect them to bring the wife back through the entire movie. I knew one of them was going to die and then bring them back. However, I feel like the villain was set up, like this red wizard was set up to be this big, powerful, strong super being. And I felt like the fight was only like 5 minutes and they defeated her very easily. Which, kind of defeats the whole purpose of the movie. They defeated her in like 5 minutes with an owlbear and magic and trickery. So it kind of just feels and defeats the purpose. It felt like a very quick, rushed ending, and it didn't feel as justified. It didn't feel as like a grand ending as the movie deserved. The rest of the movie was really cool. Them going on a wild goose chase. It did actually feel like a Dungeons and Dragons gameplay. It did feel like a Dungeons and Dragons actual quest that a dungeon master set up, which I enjoyed. It felt like I was actually playing Dungeons and Dragons. The ending was quite rushed. And I feel like they were running out of time and they had to do it quickly. And I would have liked a bigger battle at the end, but oh well, it's okay, I guess. They sort of had really cool animals in it, like some very cool references to the game with the brain monsters, the troll, the owl bear, the panthers, the gelatinous cubes, the mimics, all very sort of easy to recognize Dungeons and Dragons characters. It would have been interesting to see a couple of more ones in there, like the Demogorgon and Vecna, and ones from Stranger Things, but also the Mike Wazowski looking one. I forget its name. It's like the big ball with loads of eyes. I would have really enjoyed to see that in the movie, but hey ho, we got one movie and we got a load of references, and I enjoyed it. I would have preferred the bard to do a little bit more singing, because I do believe they hired him to do the Wish character, the Disney's Wish movie, because of his singing from this movie. However, he didn't do all that much singing. There was like 2 songs that he sang and that was about it. I would have preferred the bard, the singing one, to be more, open to singing, using magic while singing and stuff like that. Like the Legend of Vox Machina, I feel like their bard is really cool. Compared to this one, is just kind of basic, and he isn't really needed. He's just like the front man of their team. He is the planner. Other than that, he wasn't really needed, and he could have sat back and relaxed and watched. However, we also have the trope of the bards always being like very sex orientated, as also seen in Vox Machina, which I'm glad that they strayed away from in this one. I feel like all the bards are very like sex orientated in most Dungeons and Dragons media, so I'm very happy that this one strayed away from that. I do enjoy the shapeshifter and all the scenes with her actually changing animals, running between all the bad guys, swapping animals really quickly, going from mouse to deer to bird, looked really cool and looked really fun and was some of the best scenes in the entire movie. I really enjoyed the animal swapping. It was really cool, and the CGI was very odd because it was good in some places but bad in others. So some things looked good, some things looked bad, and it was just a mixed match, and it was a very mixed bag, very 50-50, and it was okay. I'm going to put it as there could have been a bit better CGI, but I did enjoy it. It was coming out the end of COVID, so I do understand why it wouldn't be perfect, but I still believe they did a lot better than The Flash and Black Adam and Shazam with all their CGI. It did look, and it had a very good world building. I loved this new world, getting to walk around and look at it and see all these new cool places, because they didn't just stay in one place. They didn't stay in like a handful. They went all over the place. They went to a graveyard, to a little village, to a mega city, to a jungle, to a forest kingdom. It was so cool, and there were so many different places that they could explore, and so much magic and wonder from this movie. It was a very good adventure, and I felt like I was part of the team watching this, which is really good for a movie and makes me want to go play Dungeons and Dragons again. I did try and get into it, but I have literally no one to play it with. So, unfortunately, I bought a couple of pieces to play it, but without realizing I have no one to play it with. No one wants to play this game with me. So, I kind of wasted money on that part, not gonna lie. But oh well. The actors are some really well-known actors. We have some from Jurassic World, some from Fast and Furious, some from other things. But to be fair, it was a good movie. The actors were great. They actually did a good job, and I'm excited to see if we get more movies from this universe, because this movie did incredibly well. So of course we're going to get more movies from this franchise, from this universe, and I genuinely cannot wait to see what they do. And other than that, I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10, because I will watch it again, and with all of its flaws, it was a very fun and magical adventure. So other than that, hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. See you all next one. Have a nice day, and goodbye. Stay home and stay safe. And if you do want to leave me any suggestions of what movies or TV shows or anime you want me to watch next, please do leave it down in the comments below, and I'll get onto it as soon as I can. There will be LEGO customs for these coming very, very shortly, so do be looking out for those over the next coming days. Alright, bye-bye.